Hey guys, welcome back. I know I've been MIA. We've been super busy, but good busy and adjustment, and it's just YouTube takes a back burner. That's just how it is. With our cow, Elsie, if you've been seeing things I put up, I put more stuff on over on Instagram. If you follow me over there, we just been settling into things and a lot of things going on, and we've been going in between the weather, and we had a really nice day. So we've been taking advantage of that, and I just haven't been on here. I haven't been on anywhere. I'm behind in a lot of things. I've probably missed a ton going on. Nothing but love to you guys, but that's just the way it is. I want to talk about this big scary monster thing is coming out. Put it in my community tab, and when I did that, my email blew up with people freaking out, asking questions. What the bubonic plague is going on? That they had found it in Oregon, and then they said they thought that it came from someone's cat. Different things. So this is just my take. It's my take on things. It could be scare tactics. Nothing to it. It's 2024. So keep that in mind no matter what you hear. Okay. The border wide open. Things that is in other countries still, here and there. Not like it used to be back in the 1800s. Mad scientist type things. Okay. That's just what it is. But keep things in perspective. Of course, they put out that information. Oh my gosh, this has been discovered. It's over in Oregon, and we have no jab for that. Oh my goodness. I'm sure they're working on one. So rest ease. Anyways, I think February 12th is when it came out. They said they had discovered that. Then there's a whole thing about the guy on the plane. It wasn't even this country, and he threw up and had blood coming from his mouth and nose. Liters and liters. The man perished. Can that type of thing do that? Yes. I don't know. Put everything in a hat, draw. If you hear banging, they're out there working. That's just, again, it continues. So let's talk about bubonic plague. It is a vector-borne disease. You're going to think like blood-biting type insects. Fleas is usually what it came from. Anything vector-borne disease, mosquitoes, things like that. That's what it is. It does not spread person to person. Now, if you were in the same household and those same, say, from fleas, from whatever it was in the same house, well, you could, you're in that same vicinity where they got it. That could happen, but you taking care of somebody with it, that's not how that spreads. You remember that old nursery rhyme? The ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes, we all fall down. That was from about the bubonic plague, the black plague, whichever one you want to call it. That was about that. So, moving on. Identifying things, knowledge is power. Bubonic plague is a gram-negative bacteria. I've talked about that before. Identifying things that are gram-negative or gram-positive and what has to be used to treat those type of things. Or you can take certain natural things or certain broadband ones and say it'll treat both gram-negative and positive. If you identify something and need to know what to take, and you're in a situation that maybe medical isn't a option at the time. Okay, so with that extreme, people hear about it, extremely large lymph nodes. People will get issues with their lungs really bad with it. I mean, there's sudden high fever, and I'm talking about really, really swollen lymph nodes, and the lymph nodes usually will fill up, and they'll have issues with leaking with blood and pus. It's just greatly gross, aches and pains in your arms and abdomen. Just nausea, vomiting, weakness, things like that. Again, people hear that, and there's a lot of things that can cause that and doesn't mean it's this. So keeping things in perspective, educating yourself, understanding, and then have things on hand, and then you won't be so anxious about it. That's just how you deal with things like this, that these big scary things, they drop down. I just say, okay, here's the information about it. This is what it can do. This is what the modern treatment is. This is what the natural treatment is, and have it on hand. And hopefully you never need anything. Most of these things we talk about, we hope we never need. So to ease my email and those, and I'm not making lightly of it. I can understand, especially when I've had several people say, this is my state and what's going on. So modern type treatment is antibiotics. Usually it's doxycycline. That's the biggest one they go to. Cipro. Those are the two main ones I would say that they go for if you have it. So people who have like Jace bags, or you have antibiotics on hand, you kept them for whatever reason, those things we're not supposed to do, those are two main ones they use to treat that. because it's a gram-negative bacteria. So natural things, keep on hand. So much of what I'm going to name, I talk about over and over and over and over again. So that's why I say stock these staples of these things up, because they can use no matter what your symptom is. We don't always have to chase a label. You integrate that thing into your lifestyle, into your diet on a regular basis, first sign or exposure or anything, and you're going to be good to go, in my humble opinion. So garlic, tons of garlic. Grow garlic. Garlic's easy to grow. I don't care how you have to buy garlic, if you have to buy it already minced, so you can have a longer shelf life on it. Whatever you have to do, garlic. Of course, my go-to is always raw, organic, have garlic, but I know that's not always so. And doing the fermenting garlic, because honey is one also, real raw honey, you can do that however you want to keep it and get it in. Garlic. Olive oregano, I've talked about it before. That is your power punch for so many things. Bacteria, fungus, viral, everything. Olive oregano, no joke. If you're hitting something that hard, I would throw everything at it if you truly had that. Colloidal silver, I've talked about it before. It treats both gram negative and gram positive. Nothing can build up a resistance to that. So I understand. And again, I'm not affiliated with anyone. However, you got to do it. If you're comfortable using that, you got to do what you're comfortable with. Is either get the generator, because personally, myself, our family, we could never afford to buy the amount of colloidal silver that we use. Again, it pays for itself. Look into something like that. Plus, with the colloidal silver, and if just talking about this, a lot of other things, but this is what we're focused on right now, is this plague is. I can put it down there in the description again. My oxygenation therapy video about using a nebulizer, putting colloidal silver in it, and what that does. Again, if I was exposed to this, thought I had it, did have whatever, these are personally what I would do. And one of them would be through your lungs and everything, because of how it can affect your lungs and the bleeding and the attachment and everything. Another big one for that they have used before and they did is thyme, the herb thyme. I would hit that one really a strong, either a tincture, infused oil, eating it, grow thyme. It's one of my favorites. I can never grow enough, just like I can never grow enough oregano. Thyme, use that one. I talked about the honey, apple cider vinegar. I talk about that balancing your pH. If your inner terrain is more alkaline in its balance, things cannot take hold or stay there. It cannot. And it has a lot of good properties. Apple cider vinegar is one of them. You can take a lot of these herbs and do the hot water, apple cider vinegar, put these herbs and different things in it as a steep, a broth, whatever, and get it down. Cinnamon has many benefits. It also is a good one that helps people with fever and things that you can get with different illnesses. So put that on your list. And I will talk about mullein. I've talked about mullein. That's your number one. That's your go-to lung tonic for different things. Except for if you have liver or kidney issues or disease, I would be careful with using mullein. Okay, but using that for the lung stuff, because it's going to help the inflammation. It's going to be a lung tonic, not so much as killing the bacteria, but what it does to people's lungs is going to help the symptom part of that, if that makes sense for you. And I don't know if I talked about the incubation period for bubonic plague is usually 2 to 7 days. That's something to keep in mind. Again, it's not passed between people. It is, unless you're in the same thing, and like they came from these fleas that was on this certain animal, rodent, whatever, and we live in the same house and we got the same flea bites. That could be. I think they did say they thought it came from, or they're claiming it came from the people's cat. I don't know. So last but not least, and it should be your first go-to, this is what I call God's medicine. It's going to be scripture. It's right there in the Bible. How about that? Psalms 91. I talk about reading Psalms 91. I think everybody should read Psalms 91 every day. Claim that over you, your family, everything else. But Psalms 91, 10 through 12. No evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. So, again, to claim it. Claim it over yourself. That's God's medicine right there. And they're talking about this big plague, that horrible word. We talk about history and we read it in these books and how it was, and people are getting nervous. And just don't get nervous about it. Just don't let it. Don't get nervous about it. Educate yourself. claim these verses over yourself and your family and your household. Get the things. Most of them you should have, because I've been talking about these same ones over and over and over again for so many different things for over 2 years. You should have them, and that's what it is. You want to go the antibiotic route? I get it. Doxycycline, Cipro. If you get a hold of it, stock it up. Jace bags, whatever you have to do, you have it on hand. So I hope it eases some of the fear some of the people are having, and some of it, even if you're not, it's like, okay, I'll keep this back in my mind, because we don't know, because they're doing all kinds of evil agenda stuff. There's the information. So everyone, stay well, God bless, and I will see you next time.